Are you dealing with shin pain that just won't go away? Have you been trying to increase your running miles, but shin pain makes it so you can't increase them, you can't run faster, and you can't hit that PR you've been trying to hit? If so, you might be dealing with shin splints or medial tibial stress syndrome. If that is the case and you're looking for answers, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what shin splints are, what are the risk factors, and more importantly, I'm going to show you 2 quick pain relief exercises you can do to take pain away today, and 4 strength training drills you can do to treat the root cause of shin splints. So stay tuned. So what are shin splints? It's a common question and hard to find the exact right answer when you look online. Shin splints are a bone stress injury due to overuse and increased loading that happens on the distal 1/3 of your tibia, down here in your shin. Now, they can occur on the posterior or back side of your shin, and they can also occur on the front side of your shin, sometimes called posterior shin splints or anterior shin splints. But what causes them? You have a muscle that runs on the inside of your shin. It starts up here at the knee, runs all the way down around your ankle bone and underneath your foot, called your posterior tibialis. And that tissue is responsible for controlling foot pronation when your foot hits the ground. Ideally, the posterior tibialis, when your heel hits the ground, will slowly lower your foot to the ground, absorb some shock, and then contract to resupinate your foot to push off. That's the ideal mechanism of the posterior tibialis. Well, what happens is if you increase your mileage too fast, a key risk factor for developing shin splints, or if you try to increase your speed without the requisite strength or training in terms of endurance to back it up, what ends up happening is you overload your posterior tibialis tissue, primarily the tendon. That creates inflammation and overuse, and that can lead to increased stress on the tibia, on the shin bone itself. When that happens, the outer covering of the bone, the very outside layer called your periosteum, becomes inflamed, and that is shin splint pain. So the cause starts for various reasons. One of the reasons you can get shin splint pain is because you overstride or you land with your leg too far in front of your center of mass. When you do that, what happens is you have a braking force that increases the pressure in your passive structure, so your ligaments, your bones, in this case your tibia. That increased pressure overloads the bone, overloads the tissue, and leads to inflammation and pain. Additionally, when you overstride on your heel, most people have it, so when they overstride, they have increased ankle dorsiflexion, this position here. When you do that, it takes a long time for your foot to come down and strike the ground. That's called eccentric lowering of your anterior tibialis, the front shin muscle. That muscle holds up your foot and it lengthens as your foot hits the ground. So the higher your foot goes up at initial contact, the longer that tissue has to work, creating overuse of the muscle and then pressure on your tibia. So overstride, staying on the ground too long, meaning you don't get off the ground fast enough, that increases load on the bone. Not having enough strength of your posterior tibialis, anterior tibialis, or foot muscles. And then also when you have internal rotation, when your thigh rotates inwards when you run, and or pelvic drop, that increases the torsion or the twisting motion of your lower leg in relation to your foot. That also increases bone stress on the tibia. So those are common risk factors that can lead to stress fractures. Increasing miles, overstriding, increasing speed, hip internal rotation, excessive foot pronation or excessive speed of pronation, and then weakness in those tissues. So what I want to show you today is I want to show you how to fix that. I want to show you some key exercises and drills you can do to take away pain fast, and exercise you can do to strengthen the muscles around your shin so this issue doesn't come back. All right, the first quick fix pain relief drill you can do for shin splints is to massage the trigger points in your posterior tibialis. Now, you have your tibia, which is this front shin bone here, and when you press it, that's hard. So you're not going to want to massage that because that's a bone. But what you want to do is just go just inside or just to the medial portion and up and underneath your tibia by grabbing the outside of your shin with your fingers and then taking your thumbs and digging up and underneath, so drive your thumbs in and up to your posterior tibialis. And what you're going to do is you're going to march your fingers down till where you find a knot, and you're going to push. So you're going to drive force into your thumbs, and you're going to hold for 10 to 30 seconds till that releases. Then you're going to march your thumbs down a little further. Again, you're going to press in and hold until that tissue releases. Now, this can be painful. That's okay. I've seen this technique be able to take away pain in runners very, very fast. So let's say you have a key training race coming up, or you have a key event coming up. Do this drill right before you run to take away pain. So you can do it after you run, you can do it before you run, but it is a great time-saving, quick fix pain relief technique to reduce pressure and tightness in the knots of your posterior tibialis, your posterior shin muscle. The next drill I'm going to show you is how to stretch the front side of your shin. All right, the next exercise I'm going to show you for quick pain relief is to reduce the pressure and reduce the tension in your anterior front shin muscle. So what you're going to do is you're going to kneel down on the ground and kneel down. Instead of having your toes tucked underneath you, the key here is you're going to flatten your feet. So this section is as flat as possible. What you're then going to do is you're going to slowly sit your body weight back onto your ankles as far as you can. Now you might feel some tightness in your knees, that's okay. And you're going to feel some stretch in the front part of your shin. And you want to keep sitting back until you feel a strong stretch in your shin. You can even lean a bit to that side to increase the emphasis of stretch on that tissue, and you're going to hold. And you're going to sit there and hold that stretch for 1 to 2 minutes to get the tissue to release. Now I know that feels like a long time, but to get deformation of that tissue, 1 to 2 minutes is a key time frame. So again, sit your body weight down onto your heels and hold that position to get a quick fix pain relief for the anterior shin muscle. The next drill you're going to do is a strengthening exercise for your inner shin muscle. So again, this muscle, the job of the posterior tibia, inner shin muscle, is to control foot pronation. So what you're going to do, you're going to use an elastic band tied to a chair or a table. You're going to move out so you have plenty of tension in the band, and you're going to slightly point your toes away from you like you're pushing the gas pedal of a car. What you're then going to do is you're going to move the band in and up into this position here, and then this is the key part. You're going to slowly let the band elongate into foot E version. You're going to let your foot turn out. Then you're going to point the toes, pull the band in, and rotate the shin up. You should feel that in the inner shin here, maybe some stretch on the outside. And you're going to hold that for 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, and slowly let the band come out. The key to the slow part of letting the band come out is that mimics the way your foot pronates when you run, allowing you to learn that motion and transfer that skill into running. You want to do this a lot of reps. You know, you take 1,500 steps a mile, so doing this for 50 repetitions, 2 to 3 sets every other day would be a great initial starting exercise to build your posterior tibialis. The next drill I'm going to show you is a single leg pal-off press. So the key in this drill is to hold your foot arch up. The muscles that control your foot arch play a role in controlling foot pronation. So by holding your arch up, not letting it collapse, standing on one leg in a running specific position and using a band, what it's going to allow you to do is slight bend in the knee, make sure you're in a hip hinge, hold your foot arch up. That is going to put you in a running specific position. Now this band is perpendicular to your body, and you're going to use it to press away from your body and back in without letting your foot arch collapse. This builds your posterior tibialis, your calf, your foot arch, your core, and helps you learn a nice stable position in running gait that's going to control the acceleration and force on your tibia and reduce stress on your shin splints. So for this drill, you want to do sets of 10 to 12 repetitions, ideally 2 to 3 sets every other day. All right, so the next drill I'm going to show you is to work the anterior shin muscle. So the muscles on the front part of your shin called your anterior tibialis. Again, they are responsible for slowly lowering your foot down to the ground once you make contact while running. So we want to use that in the position we use with running. So we're going to use a ball, we're going to use a wall, and I'm going to lead you through that drill. So the ball is going to go on your back, and you're going to lean back into that ball. And what you're going to do from there is you're going to make it so you have a slight bend in your knee, and you lift up your feet so that your forefoot is not touching the ground. And from there, what you're going to do, you're going to curl your toes. That's the key part. Curling your toes takes out your extensor hallucis, your big toe muscle. You're going to curl your toes, and then you're going to do a squat. You're going to bend your knees and let your body weight come down to the ground. You'll feel it in your quads, but you're really going to feel it in your front shin muscles because they're holding those your foot up from touching the ground. And the second you feel your toes touch, come back up. So you're going to squat down again, forefoot up, curl the toes, hold, 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 hold. Don't let your toes touch the ground the second they do. Come up. So you're going to feel it burn like crazy here in the front part of your shins. That's perfect. You want to do about 15 to 20 repetitions when you do this drill. Again, you're going to hold your feet up, curl the toes. You should feel it burn in your shins. That is good. You're going to train that muscle to slowly lower your foot to the ground when you're running. The final drill you're going to do is going to be to work your calf muscle, the back part of your legs. So holding onto a wall, feet close together, not touching, feet straight ahead, not turned out, but straight ahead. You're going to press through your big toe and the toe next to it. So you're not going to press and let your feet roll out. You're going to keep your knees straight, feet straight, and you're going to rise all the way up onto your toes. Again, keeping pressure on your big toe and toe next to it, and then slowly lower down. That's the key part. Slowly lower, because your calf, when you hit the ground, your calf elongates as you load weight onto your leg with running. So you want to slowly let yourself lower. You don't just want to drop. So it's all the way up, pressure on the big toe and toe next to it, and then slowly lower down to the ground. You want to do 3 sets of 15, and you want to do that every other day to build endurance of your calf. All right, there you have it. Now you have 2 quick fix pain relief drills you can do to take away your shin splint pain, and you have 4 strengthening drills you can do to treat the root cause of shin splints. Hey guys, if you got value from this video, please like, subscribe, and if you'd like to get access to my future videos and be notified, please be sure to hit the bell. Until next time guys, till the next video, train smarter and perform better.